When my marriage ended 5 years ago, everyone wanted to know what happened. They expected me to seek revenge by exposing him and making him lose everything. I didn't, not because I couldn't, but because that was never my goal. Let me explain. At my core, I am a behavioral social scientist. I've always been intrigued with psychology, sociology, anthropology, all things human behavior, really. From a young age, I took a deep interest in legal philosophy and political science. Shows like Law and Order and Criminal Minds only deepened my natural inclination toward justice, law and order, and the behavioral analysis of the criminal mind. Growing up in an environment where I constantly had to monitor emotional shifts, anticipate reactions, and read the atmosphere before anyone spoke, my pattern recognition developed to expert level very early. Having to navigate the world that way taught me not only how to observe other people, but also myself. As such, I think I've experienced life through two perspectives simultaneously. One that lives the experience and one that quietly steps outside of it to watch. I am the observer. I don't think I realized what I was doing while I was doing it. Now, I understand that I've spent the majority of my life on an existential quest to understand human behavior. I have a Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice and Criminology with a minor in political science, and a Master of Science in Criminal Justice with specializations in criminal investigations and legal studies, summa cum laude. And over the years, I've dabbled quite a bit in various interdisciplinary studies, such as neuroscience, biology, religious studies, metaphysics, astrology, epistemology, and esoteric philosophy, to name a few. I don't believe any branch of knowledge is off limits, because I don't believe human behavior can be understood through only one discipline or from one singular perspective. Everything is connected, and every field contributes another piece of the puzzle. With that being said, I think it's safe to say that almost every meaningful relationship that I've ever had, regardless of its nature, had unconsciously been a case study. Then, in 2014, I knowingly began a new case study. This time, I wasn't just the researcher, I was also the test subject. We've all heard the proverb or some variation of, how you get 'em is how you lose 'em. And I think we can all agree that that's probably 99.99% true. The fact that I was the paramour to his first marriage gave me zero expectations of a happily ever after. I knew the marriage wouldn't last. But what I was interested in was the storyline, kind of like a movie or a show. How would it get there? How would it all play out? Most importantly, what could this reveal about human behavior? So for the last 12 years, I've lived and I've observed, and as a result, collected data and evidence that allows me to look back and reconstruct relationship dynamics, manipulation, attachment, conflict, identity, cognitive dissonance, self-deception, family systems, and the stories people tell themselves to survive them, the invisible patterns that shape the way people think, choose, and make meaning of their lives. Now, the observation period is over. The case file is complete. Let's open it and see what we've learned. To be clear, this isn't about reliving the past or assigning villains. This is about understanding what the past can teach us. It's about understanding people. This is a reconstruction of human behavioral patterns observed over a decade in a longitudinal case study for educational purposes only.